All right, let's talk about something we all do but pretty much never talk about. We're going to peel back the curtain on the hidden science behind one of the body's most fundamental and, let's be honest, funniest processes.
Just think about it for a second. You know the feeling, that sudden involuntary puff of air, the sound, maybe a smell, that split second of panic when you're in a quiet room. We have all been there. But what if there's way more to it than just a little embarrassment?
What if that tiny moment of biological reality is actually a window, a little porthole into a complex, seriously elegant, and yeah, even a deeply philosophical system that's running inside you at this very moment? That's exactly what we're going to get into today.
So to really get this, we've got to throw out the old way of thinking. Your gut is not just a simple plumbing system. A much better way to picture it is the Ouroboros, that ancient symbol of a snake eating its own tail. It's the perfect metaphor, really. A closed, self-sustaining loop where the end is always the beginning.
So let's dive right into the engine room of this whole Ouroboros, the absolutely incredible microbial world deep inside your colon and how it literally survives by eating its own waste products. It's amazing! What you're seeing here is a mind-blowing process called cross-feeding. So it all starts when leftover fiber that your body couldn't digest arrives in the colon. A first wave of microbes gets to work fermenting it, and their waste product is hydrogen gas. But here's where it gets so cool. That waste isn't wasted. A second wave of microbes swoops in and eats that hydrogen gas as their fuel. It's this beautiful, recursive loop where one microbe's trash is another microbe's treasure. The final puff of air, that's just the last little whisper from this incredible chain of consumption.
And check this out, it's not just some random microbial soup in there. You've got specialists, a whole crew with different jobs. You've got your bacteroides, they're the primary fermenters, making that initial hydrogen. Then you have the recyclers, like Methanobrevibacter, who take that hydrogen and turn it into methane. And then, of course, you've got the infamous odor generators, like desulfovibrio, which create hydrogen sulfide. That's the source of that very particular smell. It's a whole functioning ecosystem.
So, when it comes right down to it, what is a fart actually made of? Well, for the most part, it's just these basic gases you see right here. You've got nitrogen and oxygen from air you swallow, and then the hydrogen, CO2, and methane made by those little microbes we just met. But look closely at that list. See anything missing?
Yep, the smell. This is the big reveal, and it's wild. The huge majority of what comes out, we're talking over 99%, is completely and totally odorless. It's a tiny, tiny fraction, less than 1%, made up of those sulfur compounds, that's responsible for the entire smell. I mean, think about that. The part we're all so worried about is just this minuscule little piece of the whole puzzle.
And we make a lot of this stuff. I mean, a lot. The average person can produce up to 1.8 liters of this gas every single day. To put that in perspective, that's almost as much as a big bottle of soda. It's just a testament to how incredibly hard that little microbial engine is chugging away inside of you 24/7.
Okay, so we've got this nonstop gas factory. But how does the body manage the release so intelligently? Well, that brings us to our next stop, the surprisingly sophisticated high-tech gatekeeper at the end of the line. You see, it's not just one gate. It's this brilliant two-part security system. First, you have the internal sphincter. Think of it as the unconscious guard, always on duty, keeping things secure without you ever having to think about it. Then you have the external sphincter. That's your conscious control, your final decision maker. That's the one that lets you, choose the right time and place.
And here, right here, is one of the most incredible things your body does that you've probably never even heard of. It's called the rectoanal inhibitory reflex, or RAIR. This is basically the body's sampling mechanism. The internal guard, the unconscious one, relaxes for just a split second. This lets a tiny, tiny sample of whatever's waiting touch a zone of highly sensitive nerves. And that single touch tells your body everything it needs to know. Is it gas? Is it liquid? Or is it solid? It's like a subconscious, high-tech quality control check happening on the fly. It's amazing.
This whole system is so complex, so sophisticated, it's often called our second brain. And that's not just a cute nickname. Get this, a staggering 95% of your body's serotonin, the famous mood and happiness neurotransmitter, is made and stored right there, in your gut, helping to run this whole show. So when people talk about having a gut feeling, they are being quite literal.
So we have this elegant, intelligent, finely tuned biological system. So why is our main reaction to its final product laughter? This brings us to what we could call the great paradox of the fart joke.
Well, psychologists actually have a theory for this. It's called the benign violation theory. The basic idea is that we find things funny when a rule gets broken, like, say, a social rule about being polite and keeping our bodily functions to ourselves, but in a way where nobody actually gets hurt. A fart is the perfect benign violation. It just shatters social decorum with a sound and a smell, but it's fundamentally harmless. And that tension right there is the spark that makes us laugh.
And you know what? We humans have found this funny for a long, long time. The oldest joke ever written down from ancient Sumeria, 1900 BC, is a fart joke. Of course it is. In medieval Japan, artists created these incredible scrolls called fart battles as a form of wild political satire. And in the 1890s, a guy named Man was one of the highest paid performers in all of Paris. His talent? Making music with his... well, you get the idea. This isn't some new thing. It is deeply, deeply human.
So let's bring this all home. After looking at the microbiology, the physiology, the psychology of it all, how should we really think about this process? It might just be time to embrace our inner Ouroboros. Here's the ultimate takeaway. A fart isn't a bug. It's not a system error. It's not a sign of failure. It is the literal thermodynamic signature, the sound and the smell of a healthy, thriving, life-sustaining engine hard at work inside you. It's the exhaust note from a high-performance machine that's busy turning food into life itself.
The source material we looked at has this wonderful name for it, the radiant chomp. It's this powerful idea that our bodies consume the world, transform it through a kind of internal alchemy, and then wisely, gracefully, release what no longer serves us. And maybe that's a metaphor for more than just gas. Maybe it's about letting go of shame, or old ideas, or anything at all that's holding us back.
And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If something we think of is so simple, so silly, so embarrassing as a fart, can hold all these layers of biology and engineering and philosophy, what other profound secrets are hiding in plain sight, right inside our own bodies, just waiting for us to get curious and take a closer look?